This is the Lifestyle Business Owner Show, where we talk about the street smarts of small business. Your hosts are Aaron and Mayumi Muller, owners of 8 companies that run without them, and founders of the LBO Academy. It's your turn to discover how you can own a business that runs without you. Now, here's Aaron and Mayumi.
Hello, everyone. You're listening to Aaron Muller with the Lifestyle Business Owner Show, where we talk about the street smarts of small business. If you can't listen to this entire show, you can actually go to our website, which is lboradio.com. That's lboradio.com, and get this entire show or any other previous show we've done. We're going to be talking about winning the inner game of business. Our guest today is Colin Henderson. Colin was a 2-sport starter at Washington State University at football and baseball, where he earned his master's degree in education. He was an academic All-American captain and Pac-12 champion. He has been an award-winning top performer and sales trainer in the medical sales industry with 2 Fortune 500 companies. I feel like I should set this guy up with one of my younger sisters. This guy's impressive. Yes. Colin is the creator and founder of Project Rise, a personal development platform to help individuals, teams, businesses, and schools perform at their very best. Colin teaches the power of attacking your fears, goal setting, upgrading your habits, leadership, and mastering your mindset. He's also authored the book Project Rise, 8 Winning Habits to Build the Best Version of You, and actually the Rise Journal, both tools to help individuals and teams achieve their goals. Colin provides mental conditioning coaching to professionals and amateur athletes, as well as business professionals. Also, I have my co-host here today, Mayumi Muller. She's not only my business partner, but also my partner in life. She's an amazing woman, a true hustler. And if I didn't have her by my side, I think I might be lost.
You
Mayumi.
would be. You would be lost.
What do you think?
We're like yin and yang, right? It's like we're like half, I can't be without you, right? It's like we're twins, Siamese twins, but not.
That's scary. But you're the better looking one for sure.
Oh, thank you. You're the smarter one
Sometimes.
most of the time.
And guys, I'll just jump in.
wait a minute.
Oh, wait. Wait, I was calling
We
here?
still got Colin. And
Look at this
actually,
love
So-
fest.
which
This love
is-
fest
which
is
is-
like
So
amazing
listen,
to
you
watch.
guys.
yes.
Yes, Colin. Thank you so much, first of all, for being on the show.
It's an honor to
I'm
be here.
so excited because you know, honey, how much I love to talk about mindset and perseverance and pushing through. And our mind has so much control of the universe, and we just can't even understand how phenomenal it is. So, Colin, thank you. And Colin is our brother-in-law.
Yeah, so let's qualify that a little
He
bit.
Yes.
is married to your younger sister.
She done good.
She done good.
She done real good.
Yep, Kendra, you done good. And they have beautiful children. I love them. I just
Yeah, they're like the
chase
perfect
them around
family.
and want to eat their faces every time I see them. They're like, "No, Auntie Yumi." I'm like, "I'm coming after you with these lips." Okay, so Colin, thank you again for being on the show. Well, I want to ask questions too, but I'm going to go off the question because I want to talk about, how did you get into this? I'm curious just because I was an athlete in college as well. And I know that it takes so much to be not only an athlete, a good student. So all of this, give us a brief history
But
of
also
your
how
foundation.
successful he is in business.
Right,
He's brought
and
all
we're
of
going
that
to
to
bring
that.
all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But it really started with sports. So just kind of give us a little background of how Project Rise and Flow came to fruition.
So for me, it was about sports. I was born and raised. My dad was an athlete. I think I had a ball in my hand when I was 2 years old. So that was what I saw myself. I watched my dad play softball and racquetball, and he's just a good athlete. And so I just wanted to be like him. So and I was also talented. So I was a good athlete. But really, as I got higher in the higher levels, high school, college, I noticed that it wasn't just skills, how fast you can run, how hard you can hit or throw. It's mental.
Right.
And I feel like I was always a good athlete, but looking back, I was just stressed. This lie of being perfect. I think athletes get all these accolades when they're
Yes.
younger, like, you're so special. So our self-love and my self-validation came from being the best athlete. And at the higher levels, it's all about mental. So I was trying to be perfect, and I was stressed all the time. And in sales and business, I kind of carried that same approach where I have to be the best, number one, or I would be so hard on myself.
Right.
And it took its toll.
Yeah.
Right.
So
In terms-
you achieved
Right.
being the best,
Yeah.
but
But it took its toll.
You weren't happy.
It
Yeah.
took its toll. So
Yeah.
an actual iceberg, if you can visualize an iceberg, up on top you see Colin,
Yep.
like popular,
Perfect.
all league, you
And
know.
he's good looking, yo. You know, you can't see it, but
Oh
he's
yeah, you
really
can
nice.
go on the YouTube.
Well, you'll go on YouTube.
So I had all these accolades and things, but underneath, like people wouldn't know that I was I wasn't sleeping. I was super stressed. I was my own worst critic.
Yep.
And as I got older, like it didn't change. Like I still had the same accolades, top salesman, going on trips, crushing, but like for what? Because if I wasn't number one, I was worthless.
Right.
So it hit a point when I was like 32, had a role in sales I didn't really enjoy, and I hit that point, and we've all hit that point to where like I can't do this anymore. I'm not happy. I have an amazing wife. I love her so much. We had we had Baylor, and then we had this other child, Bellamy, who's so beautiful, and I wasn't appreciative of that moment because I was so caught up in myself.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And at that point, I was like, something's wrong.
Yep.
I just had this beautiful girl.
And she is.
Hey, I almost sent my other sister to have my I think it was my first baby because I was caught up in business. Same thing,
Yeah,
man. And you're
yeah.
like you're not even appreciating that moment
No.
because you're sitting
So
there so focused.
can't.
Yep.
So I just decided something has to change.
Good.
So
Good.
for me, it was about books. So I used to do Netflix. I used to watch a ton of movies. I used to read magazines. And then I just decided like something has to change with my habits.
Right.
So I went all in on my development. I started investing in my knowledge. I started reading books, and really it was about
That's
mindset.
good advice in
That's
itself.
great
Right?
So-
advice.
If the average CEO reads about 5 books per month,
Yeah.
and the average American reads like 3 a year.
Yeah.
So is there a correlation between knowledge and how high you go?
Right.
And it's not just books, but nowadays we can get stuff on YouTube, you can
Right.
podcasts. Like there's no excuse now.
Right.
There's no
I
excuse
agree.
not to get education. And you guys learn from other mentors and
Absolutely.
different things you guys go to get your education, your knowledge. But like, so I think the number one shift for me, listen, if you guys want to own your business, you want to take your sales, your life, it starts with investing in yourself, period.
Right.
So I'm a big advocate. Like I talk about
That's
like
great.
truths, like my absolute truth is investment development. That's the best gift you can give.
Plug
That's
your book
great.
real quick. Tell people where they can
Yeah.
get your
Yeah.
book, just so that people know in between here.
Amazon.com, Project Rise. We just got
Project
it on Amazon
Awesome book.
recently.
Awesome.
It's really giving you tools to win the inner game. So I
Yeah.
had this big like aha moment. Like it's about your thought life. It's about
It is.
your
I love
self-image.
that. It's about your
Thoughts
thought life.
become things. Thoughts
Not thug
become
life,
things.
thought life.
It's your thought life.
I'm
It's
gonna
your
tattoo that on
self-image.
my
So
belly.
Yeah, hashtag that, babe.
the word don't, like if you say don't do, the brain sees not in words. So if you
Right.
create this picture of what you don't want to have happen, you're attracting that word because your brain doesn't see the word don't. It's just seeing the thing that you don't want to have happen. So my whole life I was like, don't screw up.
Yes.
Don't mess up. Don't drop the pass. Don't
Yes.
don't butcher this huge sales call. And then so you couldn't just relax and be in the moment. So I've kind of trained my brain to visualize what I want, to see it clearly. And let's just backtrack too. So invest in development, but number 2 is get clear on what you want.
Right.
What do you want? Let me ask you that. So when I sit down and I coach people, the first question in my book on Project Rise is this simple question.
Yeah.
Mayumi, Aaron, what do you want?
Yeah.
And not worry about what your friends might think, what your parents might
Absolutely.
think, but just be really kind of almost in a selfish way, like get clear, because we get one at bat in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
people aren't real with themselves because they are always
Yes.
trying to please everybody else.
Yes.
So
Our society
it's
is
hard.
that way.
Our society's that way, and it's hard. It wasn't just easy for you. I mean, you can teach that, right? But then there's a
Right.
process. There's got to be like almost like it's like conditioning yourself into that mindset. Then after a while, because it's like you can say that, but it doesn't mean that you believe it.
Well, you have to
right?
put action to
So
your
it's
thought
it's
life.
constantly
Yeah.
like
Oh,
like
100%.
like so in business. So now you write this book, and then you have the right mindset where you're at. Do you ever struggle anymore? And when you do with anything, how do you deal with that? Like how do you manage your challenges now?
So it's first, it's getting clear on what you want, and then is there a block, a roadblock? Is there something holding you back? So it really is fear.
Absolutely.
So I used to run from fear,
Yep.
run away.
Okay, so let's talk about something just really specific. So
Okay.
in business, I'm so scared to make a phone call and get this deal and call these people because I'm going to get rejection. I just feel
Yes.
like I'm going to be rejected, so I don't want to call and make a sales call. How do you help somebody like that?
Well, I think first of all, you need to either share with somebody that I'm dealing with this, because a lot of people are not open enough and have
They're
the courage
not.
to say, I don't
They're
like
not.
this. Like, this is kind of freaky. So I would say first thing to take a piece of paper and like write down what your fear is,
Right.
and allow that fear to live on that paper, not in your head, like
Yep.
replaying over and over again. The step 2 would be just to call a mentor, call a friend. Like,
Yes.
I'm like anxious about like phone calls,
Yeah.
because I'm beginning to hear no a lot. So my self-worth and like my enjoyment of this job sucks because I'm hearing no a lot. And then you can create like a plan or a process to maybe start something small or easier, make easier calls, or then you can kind of build your way up. But
Yeah, that's always
But
that's a good
always
one
a
too.
it's
good
never
one.
going to change unless you like to address it.
Yeah.
So
You have to address it, put it on paper, or, I love affirmations, right? I always have been good about putting words of affirmation, because if you see it, you can achieve it. So if you have that fear or that roadblock, which a lot of times I feel like it stems from childhood, so we got to go deep, and it's okay to be transparent. Don't you agree? It's good to be transparent, because that's okay.
Yeah.
People want to help
But
you.
that's what's helped me out. In my
Yes.
life is just not being embarrassed about things that
About-
I'm not good at or
Right.
proud of or whatever. Putting it all out on the table, like
Yes.
you said, so that basically you're not like holding yourself back
Right.
just because
it's still in the back of your
it's
mind.
still there and you
You don't
haven't
put it
released
forward.
it, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's partially that as well.
And I would say just practice.
Yeah, practice.
Create pathways in your brain, create grooves of like rehearse. The more you practice something, and then when it comes game time, you can just go back to your process and just like trust what you've been working on.
Right.
And I believe that every moment's a moment.
I agree.
Every moment's a
I
big
agree.
moment. So if you put all your eggs in that phone call, I don't think that's really fair to yourself.
Right.
So when you role play, and salespeople probably hate
Love
role
role playing.
but like, why wouldn't you put yourself in?
You love it?
I like it with you. Like when I
I
first,
role play. I
you
love,
do
I
it
love,
all the time.
I love
You
making
make up
people do it with me.
conversation.
I act like the person. It's when I can practice my
yeah.
acting.
Yeah.
When
Well-
he's doing sales training, he's like, okay, let's role play, and I like it. I think it's fun. Well, you know what, you guys. We have so much to talk with Colin about. Today we're talking with Colin Henderson. He's the author of the book called Project Rise, 8 Winning Habits to Build the Best Version of You. We help businesses, individuals, and athletes perform at the best by mastering mindset, you guys. Phenomenal. Follow the Lifestyle Business Owner Show on Facebook and IG. You can also listen to the Lifestyle Business Owner Show anytime, anywhere on lboradio.com. That's lboradio.com.
Time for a quick break, but we'll have more of the Lifestyle Business Owner Show right after this, here on Business Radio 1300 KKOL. Log on to lboradio.com while you listen to the Lifestyle Business Owner Show. Now back to Aaron and Mayumi Muller.
Welcome back to the Lifestyle Business Owner Show, where we talk about the street smarts of small business. Today we're talking with Colin Henderson. He is the author of the book Project Rise. Love that title. 8 Winning Habits to Build the Best Version of You. He helps businesses, individuals, athletes perform at their best by mastering mindset. And I love what Colin said in the last segment about thought life. I'm gonna. Your wife's gonna have to make a
quote
shirt
that.
hashtag Thought Life shirt, because
Ooh,
I
yeah,
really
that's
like
cool.
that.
I like that. Good idea. Right there.
We
We
left
want
off.
royalties.
We'll take 10%. So we left off with. I just am so excited that
Just talking about
mindset.
just making sure that
Being transparent,
and
hiring a mentor.
exactly, and not being afraid of
Not being
of
afraid
your
of your-
fears. Like being open about your fears
Yes.
and actually learning
Vulnerability.
How to deal
Your
with them.
is my
vulnerability.
word this
Vulnerability.
Love it.
Yeah.
Be vulnerable, you guys.
Because really, you have strength when you can do that.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
And
100%.
it's not
Yep.
weak.
No,
It's
it's
not
not.
weak. It's being
It's strength.
courageous
Yeah.
to open up and say. And as a leader, if you can go to someone you're leading or a customer and be right up front,
Yep.
Yeah.
this is
I
what
agree.
Hey,
this is what I failed at.
How
Hey.
did I meet you, babe? I
That's
told
right.
you right off the bat all my weaknesses,
He did.
and you know what? It gave me strength because I'm serious.
It
I did this
did.
when I was in the dating world because I just tell you everything negative about me right up front, then I don't have to ever worry about that stuff.
Yep.
And then I
He
used
didn't
it,
sugarcoat
and it
nothing.
spun it, and everyone would actually give me excuse. Oh yeah, but you know what? You got potential, or you're gonna, but yeah, that's only temporary. I know that about you. They didn't even know me. So, you know, it just
Yes.
created that whole situation like you're talking about.
I agree.
Eminem won every rap battle because he would diss himself.
Yeah. See.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They're
I
like,
love
dang, this
that.
guy's bringing heat. He's dissing
Yes.
himself.
Yes. You know, sometimes it's good to
Hey.
look in the mirror and laugh at ourselves or laugh with us. You know,
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah.
But I would say if there's a speaker that comes up on stage and says, I'm awesome.
Yeah.
Look how about awesome stuff I did. I'm so amazing. Look
Yeah.
at me, blah, blah, blah. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not really
You're
into
going to
what
start
you're
tuning
Right.
out a
I
little
don't
bit.
connect with that. Now,
Yes.
if someone says, this is how I've fallen,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
how I've risen, I like that. But what if someone says, this is how I've fallen, and I'm still working through it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm still, like, I'm
Yeah.
a student. Like, I'm
It's
Project
more
Rise guy. Like, I'm mindset,
powerful.
but, like, I do this for myself
Yeah.
because I know
You're
that
always a
every day I
student.
need to do it. You
Absolutely.
can't just do it one time and you're fixed.
And you know what? I'm gonna say, because we know Colin and his family, he is doing it. He does practice what he preaches, and I think that that's a good compliment, because a lot of people say things but they don't do what they're saying.
Oh, trust me, I know. My sister calls me all the time and tells me about how Colin's crying and stuff again. Just kidding.
But I'll
Okay,
say
you know-
this. I'll say this. My wife Kendra she has her own business.
Yes, she
Hen
does.
and
That
Co.
girl rocks, man.
So
Hen and Co.
she's crushing the
She's
stuff on
awesome.
Etsy and oils
Yeah.
and doing stuff. She has a
I'm
blog.
gonna get
we're
some
gonna
oils
get
from
we're
her.
gonna get
Yeah,
her on
okay.
the show next.
So it's
Yes.
like so I get inspired by her.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So and I'm watching you two.
Yeah.
You guys working your thing together.
Yep.
It's so cool to see the lifestyle business owner. Like, this is your lifestyle.
This is
Yeah.
our
because you
lifestyle.
love it, and I
And
can
we
just,
love encouraging and helping each other out, because
Yep.
just like you said, you know, there's gifts that you have that maybe, you know, Kendra might not be as good at, right? And same with me. I know where my place is in our companies, in our businesses, in our lives. I have gifts to bring to the table, and Aaron has gifts. And so I don't step on his toes, because the stuff that he does better than me, I don't want to do them. So it's a good team. It's a good fit. And so you guys are the same way.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you guys are happy.
Yeah.
So
Synergy.
there's a lot of people out there, you know, like, you know, I just hate that hype, man. I hate all that self-motivation stuff. I just want I just want to like have it be step-by-step processes, and just this is how I get things done. I don't need to be all rah-rah about it, you know? Is that real? I mean, is that even possible? Like, is there some time in their life that they're going to need this kind of stuff? Or do you think some people just don't need this stuff? They just don't need that positive. I'm just giving you an example. Yeah. So I played baseball, and I would say, just to save face for myself mentally and in my head, I was constantly telling myself, yeah, I'm going to hit the ball. But I would just kind of outwardly say, yeah, I'm going to strike out, because I just wanted to keep it like I didn't have to have any like the pressure, you know what I'm saying? Like the pressure that you're talking about. But I always in my head, I never thought I was going to strike out. I thought I was going to hit the ball, but I did it reverse a little bit. Is that crazy or what?
It is. If I was coaching, I would say, why would you say that? Why would you even put that out there?
He still does that now.
I
so
still do it today.
He does it today. So let's do a little counseling session right now.
Give me a counsel. How do I do it?
So what your approach is, I'm gonna say what I don't want, or I'm gonna say the negative, just to put it out there, and then I'm gonna do the opposite.
So I don't
Yes.
feel bad if I fail.
Yes.
So when I
if
do
he
it,
doesn't get the job or doesn't
whatever.
hit
You
the
are
ball,
sabotaging yourself. You are totally playing it safe. You're totally sabotaging to keep yourself and your ego safe.
that's true.
yeah.
I think if you'd say, and I have a cousin that was like that. Anytime he would like be losing, he would just quit because I wasn't trying.
Well, I never do that.
He doesn't do that.
I would never say like, oh, I didn't want to really hit it. I'd say, dang it, like if let's just say something happened. Well, you know what? It may not have happened, like so. What it does is because I'll get my hopes up, right? You get your hopes up, and you want something so bad, and it just allows me to. I'm still so mentally focused on actually getting it and being successful and whatever it may be, but.
But if he doesn't
I'm giving,
get it,
I get, like you said about my ego, it's like almost like
Expectations
it's
you
kind of like
haven't.
setting expectations around me, so that in myself even a little bit. So if I don't get it, then it doesn't get me depressed. It doesn't bother me too much.
And I think
you
I
know?
heard a story about a man who had a wife that he really loved, but he kind of would tell himself, I don't want to get too low or too high, because if it gets low and she leaves me, I'll be okay. But if it gets too high and she leaves me, then I'll be hurt. And then she had cancer and she passed away. And she said, I wish I would have lived and loved her more because she's not here anymore. So why don't you just go for it, bro?
Yep.
All right.
Like,
Yep.
and I know you don't play it safe because you've run a lot of businesses. So you go for it, which is amazing. But instead of saying, for me, it's like thoughts become things. It's a law of attraction. It's the self-belief. If you put it out there, I think you're going to attract it. So why would you even, so for me, bad thoughts are bad, obviously. Good thoughts are good, but like no thought, when you're just like in a flow state, when you're fully immersed in what you're doing, I think that's the peak. So why would you even entertain the idea of that not happening?
I guess I think of it as like a no-lose situation. We don't need to harp on it, but it's I always feel like maybe it's like I'll never lose, because I do good and I don't lose, and if I don't do good, I wasn't expecting that it would be that great, or
but
that
for
it would
me,
happen.
I celebrate failure in a way because I never lose. I either win or I learn from it.
Right.
So and that lesson, and that to me is that courageous. It's being vulnerable. It's like I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna compete. I'm gonna go for what I want, and if I fail, that's a lesson.
Right.
And I think the problem people have is like they just keep replaying that failure. For me, if you're going to the mall and you drive there and your car is parked in the parking lot, you don't come check your car every 2 seconds. You park it. I think with mistakes, people are always going back to that mistake instead of use that mistake and park it and come back to it when you need it.
Right.
Is this making sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that failure is like a gift. Failure is feedback. Failure is lessons. If you're not failing, you're not growing.
Yeah,
period.
I totally agree with that.
So for me, for my children, I'm like, fail. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go right now. Because if you're not trying, then if you're not failing, it means you're not trying.
Right.
But then here's the key though, lesson.
Yes.
What's the lesson?
Because
if we keep failing every time, like it's not productive.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of those.
So I would love it for you just to shift. And a failure is not necessarily the end of the world. It's if you quit and if you don't learn from it, if you don't grow from it.
He's got me. I'm the fluffer. I'm always like, I already closed the deal in my head before we even get it. I'm
she's
the
all
opposite.
That drives me nuts, though. It's like,
but you guys balance each other, though.
Exactly.
You know what? You may not get that whole thing.
I'm like,
why are you already telling us? Get me excited about it.
We're gonna get it.
And for me, like, I don't know. We just live once. Like, I'm just gonna think abundantly.
Yes.
I'm gonna love abundantly. I'm gonna expect abundance, and it might not happen right now, but it's gonna happen at some point.
Well, then, since
Why
we're
don't
on
you
this
let everybody
topic,
know who we're talking to. Right
well,
now,
I will. We are talking to Colin Henderson. He is the author of the book Project Rise. It's an 8 winning habits to build the best version of you. And we're talking about mindset and flow, focus, thoughts. It's awesome. But I want to ask questions since we're talking about this. So, people that have constant internal critical thinking, right? What are some things that they can do to get out if they can't hire you right away, right? Or have you come and help them through the process? What do they do? You know, are there some tricks? Because you said that sometimes you do reset yourself. So how would just a normal person who's just in a funk of just feeling sorry for themselves get out of that?
Well, number one, you just said it, sorry for yourself. When people are really struggling, it's all about them. When you're really in a funk, your vision is just on you. So a way to break out of that, number one, is to be grateful. Is to take an inventory of gratitude. Gratitude just shifts the energy. It shifts your lens and focus. Step two is to not make it about you and just serve. And it's about, think about business owners, it's about value. How much value are you giving to the world? Even though you didn't get hired, usually it's not about price or about talent, it's about value. How can you get your skills sharpened? How can you, if you want to mentor, instead of, hey, mentor me, hey, is there something I can give that person to support them? So first, gratitude. Second, service.
So gratitude, you guys, is being grateful for the things that you do have in your life, not the things that you don't have in your life.
Yeah, and it's a practice. It's a choice. So
and we forget that.
And if you journal, so the RISE journal, it's an acronym, goals V. The first G is it's gratitude. Every day, write down. There's just too much evidence about optimism, about how it shifts your mindset and your energy and your happiness, because it's a choice. So like when you decide to love someone, like you don't always get the butterflies, like it's a decision. Like gratitude is a choice, it's a practice. Just like shooting free throws and learning how to sell something, like it takes practice and daily. Other thing is just know this, is that the human brain is really old. We have this judge inside. That's not our true self. Our brain is so old, it's designed to look at the environment and find danger. And a lot of times now, back in thousands of years, it was lions and tigers. Now it's like, am I popular? Do people like me?
People like me,
Am I fitting in? How many likes, comments do I get? Which you get dopamine on that stuff, which is as addictive as like drugs and alcohol. So we're getting all our self-validation in the external.
So let's talk.
So I would say this, just recognize, and I'd coach people, is there a common negative thought that pops up a lot? Like, is it a past failure? Was there a mistake? Is it fear of the future? Like, can you identify that?
Well, you know what, you guys, thank you so much, Colin, for being on our show today. If you want to learn more about and get the book now, Project Rise, go to Colin's website at thecolinhenderson.com, thecolinhenderson.com, TheCollinhenderson.com, or you can go to Amazon.com and download that book. The Project Rise journal is phenomenal. That is a combo that you're going to want to get together with the book so that you can keep track of your day on a daily basis. It's your hand to your eye. So thank you for providing that journal and selling that. Here at the Lifestyle Business Owner Academy, we're not rendering financial or legal advice. We're not telling you what you shouldn't do with your money. We're just simply telling you what we are doing personally. When we come back, we're going to start our LBO segment. This is where we talk about how to buy a business, grow profits, and have it run without you.
We'll be right back with more of the Lifestyle Business Owner Show after this brief break here on Business Radio 1300 KKOL.